No, bro. That's my daughter. What are y'all doing, bro? That's my daughter, bro. Give me that, bro. That's my daughter, bro. That's my daughter. What are y'all doing? No. Ask my daddy, bro. That's my daughter in there. What are y'all doing? No, bro. Y'all can't. Whoa. That's my. She just passed 2 years. She just passed last year. You know me, bro. That's her, bro. No, bro. Please give me my daughter, bro. Pull her in my hand, bro. Y'all are disrespectful, bro. Okay, bro. Can I please have my daughter? Ashes that
I want to share with you a far out story that just might make you want to scratch your head and say, are you shitting me? Ever since Apollo 11 first landed on the moon in 1969, there's been growing skepticism among many people who believe we didn't really go to the moon. It was reported just the other day that a spacecraft named Odysseus landed on the moon. This moon landing marked more than 50 years since that very first moon landing back in 1969. The Odysseus landing also marked the first time that private business had gone into partnership with NASA in order to land on the moon. Something just don't feel right about this Odysseus landing. Most every account of that moon landing that you're going to see on TV will be in the form of an animated reenactment. Despite the animation, a spokesperson from the project has assured us that Odysseus is actually transmitting live signals back to Earth. Are you shitting me?
Clapper.
Putin claims the U.S. blew up the Nord Stream pipeline.
Who blew up Nord Stream?
You for sure.
I was busy that day. Nate, do you have I did not blow up Nord Stream. Thank you, though.
У вас лично, может быть, есть алиби, у вас лично.
You personally may have an alibi, but the CIA has no such alibi.
Do you have evidence that NATO or the CIA did it?
Вы знаете,
You know, I won't get into details, but people always say in such cases, look for someone who is interested. But in this case, we should not only look for someone who is interested, but also for someone who has capabilities. Because there may be many people interested, but not all of them are capable of sinking to the bottom of the Baltic Sea and carrying out this explosion. These two components should be connected: who is interested and who is capable of doing it.
Clapper.
So apparently Kate herself is the one that posted this picture. Can we please be so for real? Kate Middleton has apologized for editing a photo showing her with her 3 children around 13 hours after major photo agencies recalled the image over concerns it had been digitally altered. In a tweet from Kensington Palace's X account published on Monday, the Princess of Wales said, "Like many amateur photographers, I do occasionally experiment with editing." Kate added, "I wanted to express my apologies for any confusion the family photograph we shared yesterday caused. I hope everyone celebrating had a very happy Mother's Day." People aren't buying this. They're saying she's taking this way too lightly, that she's acting way too nonchalant, and the only way to resolve this would be to post the original unedited version of the picture, and they are calling for her to do so. Something is still very wrong here, because I imagine that almost every single family portrait that the royal family posts has been digitally altered in some way. I'm sure there's Photoshop going on. I'm sure there's lots of things going on to make everyone appear their best, the same as we all do when we get professional photographs taken. But for this one to be flagged, removed, and issued a kill notification, something's going on here. What do you guys think? Was it just Kate having some innocent fun with Photoshop? Or is there something much darker going on here? Let me know in the comments.
Clapper.
This is the end for Ryan Garcia.
I got a paper here because everybody likes facts. They want papers, right? Everybody wants the proof? Okay. Well, let's go into, this is surface level proof. This is common knowledge if you're really paying attention. Okay. The first fact, with human trafficking, including sex trafficking, the global industry of human trafficking, including child sex trafficking, is estimated to be worth $150 billion annually.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
$150 billion annually. Do you understand what that means? I don't even know how much Amazon is worth, but if this is worth 150 billion, I mean, it's about time we start paying attention for the children. Number 2, globally, the International Labor Organization estimates that 1.2 million children are trafficked each year. 1.2 million children are trafficked each year. Around the world. Around the whole world. The US, in particular, where we live, where I live, the US is the #1 nation in the world for consuming child sex material.
What do you think is going to happen to Ryan after this?
The only thing all 535 members of fucking Congress can fucking agree on is to ban TikTok. That's it. That's the only thing. I heard him talking about raising the minimum wage. Can't fucking agree on that. Heard about talking about trying to keep prescription drug prices low for people. Nope, can't agree on that. I heard him talking about the border. Can't agree. Can't even agree where the fucking border is. But when it comes to banning TikTok, line up, buddies. Bring that fucking Instagram and Microsoft money down here. Line it up here in our lobby. Oh, let me heat it up. I'm gonna protect your privacy by banning TikTok. Don't you watch Risa Tisa? Don't you learn how to cook pasta right way? Don't you find out more about the history of this great nation? Don't you notice that this Congress, 250 years after the first Continental Congress convened in Philadelphia, has done less than any Congress in the history of this goddamn nation? No, the only thing, this gaggle of 535 of the richest, most powerful, welfare queens being paid on a government dime can agree on is that I can't watch fucking tiki-talkies. Suck my...
This man bought rope, tied a noose, drove his friend out to the woods, and encouraged her to take her own life. This man's name is Tyrell, and this story is incredibly disturbing. So the 16-year-old girl who unfortunately took her own life was Chandra Brown. Chandra was a 16-year-old girl living in Utah who her whole family called Jelly because she loved Jelly Belly jelly beans. But on May 16, 2017, a turkey hunter walking through the woods would discover Chandra's body hanging from a white rope. Next to her feet was a cell phone, a can of canned air, and a name tag for a fast food restaurant that said Jelly. Now, police obviously thought that this was somebody who took their own life, but when they looked through Chandra's cell phone, they found something disturbing. You see, there was actually a recording of the moments leading up to Chandra taking her own life. And in that recording, a male voice can be heard almost encouraging her to go through with it. It was eventually revealed that the man in that video was 18-year-old Tyrell Shibashing. Tyrell had actually purchased the rope for Chandra, he had tied the noose for her, and he had basically encouraged her to go through with it. Now at the beginning, Tyrell acted like this was a horrible tragedy and he felt bad for doing what he did. But when investigators searched through his messages, they found some disturbing stuff. So 17 days before Chandra took her own life, Tyrell texted somebody and said, "What do you do if you know that your friend is going to take their own life?" The friend he texted then replied, "Talk them out of it." Tyrell then responded, "The thing is, I want to help kill them. It'd be awesome. Seriously, I'm going to help her. It's like getting away with murder. Seriously, I'm not joking. It's going down in about a week or two." In an even more disturbing text message, Tyrell at one point texted Chandra before she took her own life and said, "Can I mutilate your body and cut your head off and dispose of it somewhere else?" After Chandra had taken her own life and Tyrell had helped her, he texted another friend and said, "Bro, it happened. I helped her do it too and I feel so guilty." But the most damning evidence was that video clip. So in that footage, which Tyrell is filming, Chandra sits with a noose around her neck standing on top of a rock in the woods. They speak to each other and then Chandra takes that can of air duster and inhales it. Afterwards, Chandra then giggles because of the high produced by the duster can. She then loses consciousness and falls off of the rock. So Tyrell, instead of helping out someone who's trying to take their own life, then just sits there and keeps asking questions. He says to himself, that didn't work, that didn't seem to work, but he keeps asking Chandra questions, even though it's very clear that she's already dead. Eventually, he was sentenced to only 5 years in prison. Some people thought that was fair. Many others claimed he should have been in prison for a much longer time. What are your thoughts on this disturbing case?
I don't think it's a coincidence that Ashton Kutcher, who was once one of the hottest rising stars in Hollywood, all of a sudden left the spotlight and is now running an organization that helps kids that are being trafficked. I don't think that's a coincidence whatsoever.
How about Mark Wahlberg leaving Hollywood and relocating to Nevada because he doesn't want to be around that environment?
Mm-hmm.
How about Mel Gibson being blackballed from every single fucking movie ever? He's lucky enough that he's rich enough to do whatever he wants because he did Braveheart and fucking Patriot and all this badass shit. And now he happens to be one of the real life guys kind of doing that in his own way, which is cool as fuck. But like, you know, anybody who stands up against it is automatically blackballed.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So like this is why we don't see more of it. Like you can't see more of it because everybody who knows about it is in it.
Yeah,
that's my take at least.
For sure. And I think it's very important just in general, you know, if you want to know what ideas you should subscribe to, I would observe the things that people get the most hate for. So, for example, if you want to know whether something is true or not, well, can you, for example, if you think that doesn't own Biden, well, can Biden mock? No. If you think that human trafficking isn't real, well, look what happens to every single person that talks about human trafficking that's in the public eye.
They're completely wiped out of relevancy as far as those people are concerned to even mention it. Like think of like how aggressive of a response that is to someone that's just saying, hey man, these kids are getting fucking stolen and used and this and that. And then the automatic response by all the other people in their little genre is to like blackball them. Like, doesn't that scream like, holy shit, these dudes are like guilty as fuck? It does to me.
Yeah, you can't sit there and say that Mel Gibson got blackballed from Hollywood because he's objectively a bad filmmaker. No. He's one of the best filmmakers of all time. He has films that have shaped culture, and you can't say it's because of that. So it's got to be something else. No,
they say it's because of that traffic stop that he had a number of years ago where he used the N-word. That's what people say it is, but that ain't it either. Because there's all kinds of motherfuckers that use the N-word, including the entire population, not the entire, but the majority of the population that happens to be black uses every fucking day. So we're not, like, that's not it either. This is because of this shit that we're talking about.
Something odd started happening during the lockdown that most people didn't even notice. They actually kind of ignored it. Your ATM machines, I'm going to say ATM machines. I know it's redundant. ATM, M stands for machine. I'm going to say it because I don't know. I think it just works. It makes more sense in the context of this news story.
You can just say ATMs. ATMs.
I will say, all right, I'll say ATM. If I say ATM machines, don't let me know in the chat. Anyway, have you noticed that ATMs are disappearing and bank branches are disappearing? Well, here's what happened. The place where you would get cash was suddenly closed for health reasons during COVID, right? These ATMs were closed down, not just in the United States, but all across the Western aligned world, most notably Australia. Thousands upon thousands of ATMs were turned off and they stopped working. They were just shut down intentionally. Of course, they were really worried about the screen, right? They were really worried about when you touch the screens and all of that. It was the pandemic, so no one needed them. And of course, it was nefarious and it could live on the keypads of ATMs, right? You get all that all over those keypads, you're going to get sick. And we don't have enough Clorox wipes in the world to keep up with that, to kill all of the COVID. So we had to shut them all down, right? This was how they spun it to us. So you don't need cash anyway, right? They don't want you to have cash because you're at home ordering food from Uber Eats anyway. So you don't need these ATMs right now. We're going to shut them down. It'll cause COVID. You're at home ordering on Uber Eats or getting your Amazon delivery packages. So cash is trash. Plus cash transmit COVID as well.
Well, health experts say the coronavirus can live on surfaces like cash for up to 10 days. That has many people worried about shopping and other everyday tasks.
Yeah, that's right. Cash carries. Still my favorite soundbite of all time, by the way. I love that. So don't lick your dollar bills or your coins because cash has.
smartest kid thinks that CERN blew the world up in 2008.
Maybe that fucking kid is right.
Energy cannot be created nor destroyed, only transferred from form to form. But if there are an infinite number of universes, then there's 100% chance that this happened. At least maybe in another universe, maybe not ours. Then again, there's also an infinite chance that this is our universe.
Joe Rogan and the world's smartest kids seem convinced that CERN is the epicenter of world-altering experiments. Maybe they're looking in the wrong direction. Like the true architects of reality-bending science are just toiling away, not in the spotlight of CERN, but in dark corners so secretive even their existence is a state secret. Quantum reality hacking, consciousness transference, time manipulation, experiments that don't just bend time, but fold it, altering the past through the present, or universal simulation control. Maybe they're manipulating the parameters of our simulated universe. Tell me what you think in the comments. Where's the real Pandora's box, CERN or secret shadow labs?
So tell me, do you believe, was Disney trying to tell us something? Crazy, right? Some things are just an optical illusion, right? Well, is this an optical illusion? Look at that and tell me you don't know what that is. Go ahead and tell me that confidently and mean it, because you know darn well what that is. You can see it. No, that's not a carving. That's a petrified animal from the days of old.
Do you see this?
Yes.
Do you see this?
Yep.
It's freaking nature, and it's freaking awesome.
Yes, it is. And I don't think science can properly explain how these animals were petrified so quickly to where they were able to preserve their form through all these years. And you know, that really got me thinking. There's plenty of statues on this earth that are thousands of years old. Now, what if they were petrified beings? Now, I know, it's just a thought. And yeah, I can't wait for the Mount Rushmore jokes. And you can joke all you want, but I promise you truth is stranger than fiction.
Photo that NASA put out of Earth in 2015. Now look a little more closely. Now before some of you tell me that I'm making this up, I got this directly from NASA's website and it's still there. I'm sure it's just a coincidence.